Hi everyone. Today's video is about Spirited Away. It is a coming-of-age movie about a 10-year-old girl, Chihiro, who wanders into a mysterious world and encounters with mystical characters. The film won the Golden Bear at the Berlin International Film Festival and the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Now, let's talk about the trivia of the film. First, a trivia about the main character's name. The main character was originally supposed to be named Chisato instead of Chihiro. Chisato was the name of the daughter of director Hayao Miyazaki's friend, Mr. Seki. One day, when Miyazaki went camping with Mr. Seki and his family, a red shoe worn by Chisato was washed away by the river. Everyone got soaked trying to pick it up. Director Miyazaki, who had been feeling down after Princess Mononoke failed to make it to the world stage, said that this incident brought him back to life. It seems that he would choose Chisato as the main character to express his gratitude to little Chisato. While the name Chisato was never used in the title in the end due to the nature of the bathhouse, it is an episode that showed Miyazaki's character of cherishing children. Next is trivia about the setting of the film. It has been said that Spirited Away was modeled after Jiufen City in Taiwan. Indeed, if you look closely at Jiufen City, you can see that the atmosphere of the buildings and the mysterious world view match that of Spirited Away. Jiufen has been frequently introduced in TV programs and guidebooks as the model for Spirited Away, leading many tourists to visit the city. However, Miyazaki has stated that Jiufen was not the setting of the film. In an interview with a Taiwanese journalist, Miyazaki was asked if Spirited Away was modeled after any place in Taiwan. He answered no, and clearly denied it. According to Miyazaki, whenever he makes a film, many may claim that film was inspired by this location. But there are many places in the world coincidentally similar to the worldview of the movie. It is truly amazing that director Miyazaki can make such a film without a specific model place but by gathering various landscapes and worlds in his imagination. Next is an urban legend that the bathhouse actually is fuzoku, or adult industry in Japanese. Indeed, the bath women give off a strangely alluring vibe that seems to fit the luxury bathhouse. And did you notice that all the gods visiting the bathhouse as customers are all men? Further, the baths are all private rooms, not large baths. There are two grounds to support the urban legend. The first is that the bath women, called yuna in Japanese, existed not only in the world of Spirited Away but also in the real world. Yuna refers to a woman who worked in a public bathhouse during the Edo period. At first, the only work they did was to clean the bodies of customers. But it gradually developed into adult activities, and it eventually ended up being banned. Another reason this urban legend became a certainty was an interview with Hayao Miyazaki. In an interview on Spirited Away, Miyazaki said, "Japan has become a society where everything is like fuzoku. If I had to choose what would be appropriate to depict as the world today, it would be that very industry." Here, Miyazaki exactly mentioned the word fuzoku. Also, just as Chihiro was given the name Sen by Yubaba, other yuna also had nicknames for working in the bathhouse. We can see the same significance in other Japanese adult industries like night hostesses and geisha, that they use professional nicknames in their work. It is surprising to learn that the motif of the bathhouse is the adult industry. In this light, Chihiro has wandered into a place that would be unthinkable for the age of 10. Next, let's talk about its relationship with My Neighbor Totoro. Spirited Away is said to be related to My Neighbor Totoro. One of the reasons for this is the presence of Susuwatari. In My Neighbor Totoro, they are known as Makuro Kurosuk, or soot sprites, and we can see the cute activities of these black-colored characters in this film as well. Another reason is the scene in the bathhouse where Chihiro rides the elevator. In this scene, a god named Radish Spirit is standing next to Chihiro. In fact, the scene in My Neighbor Totoro where Totoro and Satsuki wait for the bus with umbrellas is just like this, becoming a topic of conversation among Ghibli fans. Indeed, the Radish Spirit and Totoro have somewhat similar body shapes, and the way they look down at Chihiro and Satsuki are also very similar. In addition, it's interesting to see the similarities where the Radish Spirit is written as a child-friendly god while Totoro is a ghost that only children can see. Next is some train-related trivia. In the final part of the story, there is a famous scene in which Chihiro takes the train to visit Zenoba. There are a lot of debates on the internet about whether this train is actually going to the afterlife. Why is that? It seems to be related to the fact that the train ticket is only one way. Also, when we look at the passengers, all of them are black-colored and translucent except for Chihiro and her group. Based on these points, an urban legend spread saying that this train is for people who have no hope for living or the future, and wish to commit suicide to go to the afterlife. And the reason why there are stations along the way is so that those who have decided not to commit suicide can get off the train. It sounds a little disturbing, doesn't it? Here is another train-related urban legend. There is a girl with a bob cut, standing on the platform at the station Numahara, halfway on the line. It is rumored that she may be a character from another Ghibli film. That character is Setsuko from Grave of the Fireflies. Setsuko dies before her brother, Seita in the film, who later dies on the station platform. Setsuko has been waiting for Seita to come to her in the afterlife. Or, so she thought. However, Setsuko and the girl at Numahara Station have nothing in common except for their hairstyle, the bob cut, making these train-related stories no more than mere urban legends. The real story would only be known to director Miyazaki. Finally, trivia about the scene where Chihiro guesses that none of the pigs they bought in were her parents. At the end of the film, Yubaba asks Chihiro to find her parents among the many pigs brought to her as a final trial. Chihiro discovers that her parents are not among the pigs and she passed the test. How Chihiro was able to know the fact? Miyazaki answers this question as following. After experiencing so much, Chihiro knows that her parents are not there. Not sure why she knows, but she does, and that is life. Chihiro, who was lost in this mysterious world, was initially all alone. However, through her encounters with Haku, Kamaji, and Rin, she achieved growth as a person. At first, the people at the bathhouse disregarded Chihiro, but eventually even Yubaba came to recognize her work. In this kind of environment, it is natural that Chihiro has developed the ability to judge things calmly and discern right from wrong. How did you like the video? Did you know any of these trivia? If you know any others, let me know in the comments section. I'll continue to introduce many more trivia and behind-the-scenes stories related to Ghibli on this channel, so be sure to stay tuned. Bye!